Julian, so what's like the biggest contract that you done put together or agreement deal? Like what's the biggest?
We're talking numbers now.
So what's the biggest
you know, we have
partake in, however that looks?
I like that question. So you know, we have certain confidentiality and things that we are bound by. So I can't say, like I can't give you the particulars, but what I can say is that there have been, specifically. So if you want to use home, if we want to use Indianapolis as an example, there were two major deals together, just about $1 billion. Just about $1 billion of redevelopment work in our firm. I was on the team at our firm that had a very strong hand in those projects. Yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait. 2 deals was $1 billion.
Just about $1 billion.
So what is that like? Cut me off. You can't just say that and then we be like, okay, let's move on. We got to dig. Yeah. You just tell me when to stop digging.
Sure.
So is that what is that? Like is this hospitals? Is it commercial? Is it multifamily? Is it fucking big ass shopping? Is it stuff that's coming? Or is it stuff that's already here? Like what is this?
Yeah. So these two. So I can say like a couple things. Number one, these are like two very prominent examples. When you look at the collective portfolio, it's much larger than that in terms of the, what I'm saying, in terms
basically
of
he said, well, you get hyped about some numbers, goddamn it, that ain't shit.
No. Hey, look.
What's up, everybody? This is Moguls in the Making, episode 34. My name is Julian Harrell. I'm a partner at Faegre Drinker here in Indianapolis, and I had a ball to come on here today and talk with Omari and T about my journey as becoming a partner in the law firm, real estate development efforts, my passion in making hip-hop music, and some recent current events. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back, episode 34, Moguls in the Making. We are back, baby T. What's happening, man?
Hey, man, don't call me baby T, but hey, listen, man, it's your most lovely, your most gracious, and your most, y'all fill it in. Man, I'm letting y'all fill it in from now on. It's your most lovely, your most gracious. Y'all fill in the rest. You know what I'm saying? I want to see in the comment your most whatever. Don't be saying fat and shit, y'all. Don't do me like that. Just give me some uppers. You know what I'm saying? Give me something to make me feel good.
I'm your host, man. Got your back, man. We in the building, episode 34. We got a special guest in here today.
We do,
man. It's going to be dope. We're going to talk about some stuff we really ain't probably tapped into. Mm-hmm. So definitely, what's needed, man. But, T, before we do that, man, let's hop into the business. What you got cooking, man? On that side, where you feel like we at?
We had a point in our business where we got to get over like a little hump. Let's be transparent today on this episode. We got to get over a little hump right now in our business, and that hump is like, it ain't nothing crazy. It's like, you get to those stages in your business where it's like, y'all right there, right? If you feel this one position and that position fills out to be what it needs to be, it's on and popping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but we ran into that maybe 2 or 3 times. Where we kind of got bottlenecked at a point in our business where we was like, but it's so good to feel like it's so good to know exactly what we need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The numbers is there.
You know exactly what spot needs to be filled the correct way right now. And so we there in our business right now. We got a couple deals that's closing. We got a deal that's closing this week at the end of the week. We got a deal that's closing next week, but we want more deals coming in. Like, to be 100% honest. So we just working, man. We trying to stay in the trenches with our stuff right now. But also on top of that, in the business, I think we've sold this summer like maybe like 10 rentals.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
10 plus?
Yeah.
10 plus of our rentals this summer. So we just closed 2 of those last week. So that was cool. Where we came out with our own average, we coming out with about 30 to 35,000 profit on those rentals that we bought back in 2020, 2021. Some of them is a lot more. Some of them a little bit less. Like some of them we projecting on making like 80,000 on or 60,000 on. The key is like, the tenants that was in them that was picking the wrong property management companies and shit like that. So the tenants that was in them really fucked them up.
So you gotta go back in.
Putting 10 back in. You know what I'm saying?
That's cutting out the profit.
Exactly. So, but that feels good to get those off our plate. And we're doing that in regards to paying off an investor that we have with us right now. And then we also got, man, the biggest thing in our fucking business is we
Talk about that, T.
Released to fucking do this 10 unit. So now we actually can, pray to God, push forward. We got a one inspection this week on electrical. They got to come out there within 48 hours. If they don't, we can go ahead and get fully to work. So we should finish that up over the next 60 days.
That's what I'm most excited about, the 10 unit, man. We got a little party, man. Everybody pull up, man.
Man, for real, when that bitch done.
Pull up.
God, we going to mess it up. Did all that work. And now boys kicking shit through the doors and breaking drywall and all that shit.
Taking appliances out.
Man, but nah, we should do that though. We should have some type of something like that. That's a good idea. But
something to celebrate, man. But yeah, that's that on the business. But man, we got my guy, my dude, man. Man, this dude done connected me with different people, man. Just so dope, man. You just a dope person, bro, and really on this shit too, man. I want to dive in a little bit deeper today. Who's really bring, because it's a lot to you, bro. But we got my dude. T, you ready? You ready on the horn? He got the horn ready over there for me. We got my dude Julian, aka Jules. What's happening, big dog? Man, appreciate you coming on top of that with us.
Thank you.
So, just for everybody, man, I know what you do. T know what you do. Go ahead, T. Goddamn, get out your system.
I gotta get it out of my system, man. You know what I gotta do, man.
Swear. So, me and Jules, we used to live in a spot together downtown called the 360. That's how we originally met.
Yes, sir.
And stuff like that, man. And yeah, you were just moving around that whole thing. I'm like, man, hold on, I need to be connected with bro. You know what I'm saying? He's solid, and you know what I mean. Just want to link with you. You know what I'm saying? And you always like, hey, what you need? You good? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of that. You always been like that. But just for the viewers, the people out there, let them know what this is the part for you to talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? What do you do? What field are you in? Where you at with things right now?
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all having me out. And,
for sure.
Just share a little bit of information about what I do and what we get into. So, I kind of have two main buckets, man, that we can talk about today. The first is really what takes most of my time. I'm a partner at a law firm here in Indianapolis, Harvey Drinker, and I focus, essentially 100% of my practice on the environment, right? And so that could be, real estate development or redevelopment. Obviously we've had some discussions in that space, and working with not just clients to help facilitate and close their deals, whether there's an environmental aspect to it or not, but also in the community, man, like connecting with people and sharing more information and knowledge and access in terms of how to increase the opportunities that are out there, you know what I mean, in the development space. And so there's institutions like the Urban Land Institute, ULI, right, that makes a lot of connections and has a lot of opportunity and access, for people who are interested in that development, redevelopment game. And there's just so much going on there. But then also, outside of just the pure real estate aspect, I'm working on just sustainability in general, right? And so, in other words, how do we kind of transition away from business as usual and find new, creative, innovative ways to make the planet essentially a better place. So that's what I'm working on as an attorney, as a partner at the firm.
Got you.
So has that always been how does sustainability work? What's your how do you think in 10 years from now, how do you see it being different than it is today?
Well, right. I mean,
specifically in Indianapolis.
So we work, nationally and internationally, right? And so, there, of course, we are focused on things that are happening here at home, right? We have a deep connection and love for our community and our clients that are based here, and the important work that they're doing here. But in addition to that, the impact and the scale of what's going on right now from the sustainability space is global, and so. The short answer to what does sustainability look like in general really depends on the type of business, right? Like whatever a company's sustainability plan is, assuming that they even have one, because a lot of people still don't, because it's a bit of a wave right now. But whatever the plan is, right, or if you're working on developing one, should be tied to your core business, right? And we can talk more about what that means, but really, sometimes people get into trouble where sustainability, you also hear things like ESG, right? Environmental, social governance. You hear all these phrases thrown around.
I thought you was talking about ESTG. No, I'm just messing around.
Nah, I was at his show too. When he came through with Future.
He didn't know no attorneys was in the room, did he?
Yeah, we were in the building.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening. No, I'm messing around. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's good. So, but you hear, you hear those things, man, and like they're so vast. There's so much that's covered by those topics that sometimes people are like, oh, we got to do everything. We have to take all of these sustainability, metrics and like try to get all of them to fit. And really, that it's like they call it boiling the ocean. It's unrealistic. It's gonna be really difficult to try to do everything. So like, what are the sustainability aspects that are core to your business, and how can those be implemented and executed to help you manage emerging risks and to capitalize on emerging opportunities?
Jules, so what's your role in this whole big ass
ecosystem?
Yeah.
Like what do you, like daily? Like what are you doing on a daily basis?
Man, that's a great. You know
question. What I mean? As a partner at a law firm, shit. I want to like. Is it like Suits? That's what I got in my
That's what I exactly.
Like I'll be running around and be like, okay, look, we got him.
Exactly. I was looking at. He said partner. I said, dang, he already a partner.
He got his name on the door and stuff.
He got a name.
No, we ain't there yet. I'm not a name partner.
Name partner. So it's name partner and
senior and junior partner, right?
So it's and every firm does a little different.
Okay.
At our shop, there are different levels of partner. Okay. I'm what you would call a limited equity partner. So I do own shares in the firm, but the goal is to become what they call like full equity. So where it's like it affects your compensation, how many different shares you might own in the firm. There's kind of, and it's a little bit of a black box, but essentially I am an owner of the firm, and I'm working to become like I'm trying to grow that and evolve that.
Like how does that work though? Like where you can come back and be like, give me that. I deserve it. I need it. Yeah. I know it may not be an exact answer, but people who like how does that even? How do you get there?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and it's gonna be different for everybody. It's gonna be different depending on where you are, like geographically, what your practice looks like, what firm you're at, how many years of experience you have, all of those things. For me, and we actually, there was like a little write-up that they did, that I forget the name of the publication, but they did like a write-up like right when I had been announced that I was going to be a partner. And they basically asked like, what was your journey like? What was that path like? And, there's the fundamentals, right? It's like you have to, we got billable hour requirements. You got to hit those billable hours. You have to become a great researcher, writer. Like there's all these fundamental things, learn how to communicate concisely and accurately. And then like master your particular discipline or craft within the law. Like all of that is fundamental and just absolutely necessary.
Right.
But to get to like a next level, any level, because there's all these little steps that are involved within the overall journey. It's like you gotta have a team. You gotta have what I call it like a board of directors, like a personal set of people who are vested in seeing you progress and succeed at the firm. And especially,
are those people like higher up under you? Like, are they associates that they're like, hey, these are my associates and I need to make sure that they all about my success so that we can push to get there while I'm making them more successful? Or is it a combination of both?
It's a combination because, certainly you're going to have people that you start with, right. Like you're going to have your cohort or your class that you start with.
Right.
Those are some of the most important relationships you have because they're on a journey too. They may not, their goals may not be your goals, but whether you're relying on each other to get to the next level, or they may take a different position in the future, and then there's still a relationship there. They might send you business, or you might send them business.
You're gonna need everybody. You're gonna need one person at some point.
100%.
So you can't be in there burning bridges.
It's tough. It's a relationship business. As so many things are, right? But the law is definitely a relationship business, and so you need those folks who you could call like your peers or your contemporaries. But you also need those higher ups, both inside and outside the firm, because you need the people inside the firm to the extent that there's challenges or things that you just don't know that you don't know. Like you need somebody to help guide and steer you and mentor you and sort of be your champion internally. Yeah. And fortunately, I have had very strong support at the firm. This is what I always tell everybody, whether I'm interviewing, whether they're interviewing for a position or I get to speak a little bit about my experience at the firm, has been every promise that the firm has made me has either come true or is coming true. And to me, you know, that hasn't always been the case. I have more experience. I've not always been at this firm, but you know, I think when you see those types of metric, it's like a metric that you can just measure and engage. Like, is it happening or not? Right. And it doesn't always mean that it happens exactly the way
you want it or how you want it.
But is it you know, promising? Do you see that it's going in a direction that it's got your best interest at heart?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what I tell.
We getting there.
I tell a lot of people that it don't matter whether it's basketball, going to college on a full scholarship for academics, your first job, your third job, whatever it is like, okay, these firms or these employers or these coaches or these programs or whatever it is, they offering you something, right?
Exactly.
And they're just about as loyal to you as you are to them. Like, it's always about how loyal you're gonna be to them, but how loyal are they gonna be to you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you get into something, if after 2 years, I know people say like early on, it's like, yeah, you can't judge nothing too quick or whatever, but no, fuck that. Like, after a year, if you're a year there, there's going to be these little bitty seeds that you say, have they planted them yet? Yeah. Like, okay, they said I was going to be able to do this.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Or they said I was going to be able to implement this. Okay, have they threw me the lob to do it and I just messed up and so that's why I haven't done it? Or have they not even, or do they keep saying, oh yeah, we're going to get to that.
Get to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Or we're going to get to that.
Down the road. We just
as they're taking their signs that if you're going to be a good employee, a good player, a good this, whatever,
right?
Take your signs. Are they going to be that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't sit back and let them just continue to push your stuff out into the future. Oh, next thing you know, it's 5 years. Oh, next thing you know, it's 10. But now you tied in.
Exactly.
Now you don't want to leave because you're really a loyal person,
right?
But they still didn't never do the stuff that you want to do. So hearing you say that,
yeah,
that means a lot, bro. Because I know that, like, even for my family, even my wife, even like just watching her and watching other people, like when you start to get stuff that like people promise you, that's when you start to actually go harder.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now I'm like, all right, we together because they trusted me to do this. I was able to do it, and now they saying, hey, this is the next thing that we're gonna let you do, or this the next thing that. What's your take on it?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
then you like shit. My take is this.
Right.
Now I want to do this, and they like, hey, you did that, so
go ahead. Yeah. Now they really taking heed to it. Like, hey, you know.
That's respect to me, though.
Exactly.
Because when it's all said and done, whether you're an employer or employee, if you earn something, man, it's time to roll. It's time to go forward. It's time to, you know what I'm saying, go up in the company, up in the business. So that's respect from your firm for sure, bro. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. So what's like the biggest contract that you done put together or agreement deal? Like, what's the biggest?
We're talking numbers now.
So what's the biggest
you know, we have
partaking, however that looks.
I like that question. So, you know, we have certain you know, confidentiality and you know, things that we are bound by. So I can't say, you know, like I can't give you the particulars, but what I can say is that there have been, you know, specifically, so if you want to use home, you know, if we want to use Indianapolis as an example, there were two major deals together, just about $1 billion, you know, just about $1 billion of redevelopment work in our firm. I was on the team at our firm that had, you know, a very strong hand in those projects. Yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait. 2 deals was $1 billion?
Just about $1 billion.
So what is that like? Cut me off where you can't just say that and then we be like, okay, let's move on. We got to dig.
Yeah.
You just tell me when to, you know, stop digging.
Sure.
So is that what is that? Like, is this hospitals? Is it commercial? Is it multifamily? Is it fucking big ass shopping? Is it stuff that's coming?
Land.
Or is it stuff that's already here? Like, what is this?
Yeah. So these two. So I can say like a couple things. Number one, these are like two very prominent examples. When you look at the collective portfolio, it's much larger than that in terms of the, you know what I'm saying? In terms
basically,
of
he said, well, you get hyped about some numbers, goddamn it, that ain't shit.
No. Hey, look, it's not nothing.
We got $1 trillion under management.
Right.
Yeah, but it's you know, we close a lot of deals, right? This is part of what we do, and we work across teams, across offices. Like this is part of what we do. Like this is what we wake up and we love to do. The examples here in Indianapolis are both commercial commercial/industrial type projects where, you know, let's say a site may have had a certain use, you know, a past use that created, you know, potentially some impacts, right, to the environment. If we're looking in the urban core, there's almost always going to be some sort of an environmental historical issue, right? So what we did is we worked with all the stakeholders who were involved in each of these projects to create a master plan to, you know, address whatever, you know, environmental conditions may have been there, so that they call it pathway elimination, right? You have to eliminate the potential pathway for people to potentially be, you know, there's a potential exposure for people to be exposed to certain, you know, environmental things. And so you have to, there's a very specific and like scientific and legal way that you can manage some of these risks that come along with how the sites used to be used. You come in, you fix those, you address them, right? And there's a whole host of ways to do that. And then you basically get the site ready so that now it can be put to a new use, to its highest and best use.
So, for example, if somebody had a gas station and then they wanted to later on take that use and have it be a nightclub or something,
right?
It's a whole process.
Yes.
For it to, because now people are being
or a restaurant even.
Yeah, a restaurant or something, you know, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to put there because now they are potentially being affected by stuff that was used years, 10 to 100 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
That could be in the food or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, the restaurant or something
happens
like
all the
that.
time.
That's what y'all actually do.
Happens all the time. That's a big piece. You know, we do a lot of things.
That's cool.
But that's a big piece specific to that real estate redevelopment, like that redevelopment of the so-called brownfield. We have a very strong, you know, practice in that.
So out of the $1 billion.
Yeah.
Out of the billion, like how much does the firm get? What is the what is a typical, and we can use a different example if you want to. It was up to you. But generally speaking, it could be from y'all firm or just firms in general, however you want to spin it. I think you should tell us y'all's, but I understand the confidence that could be between that if the deal ain't done yet or whatever. But just generally speaking, if you had a firm and they are doing stuff similar to this, what is a group? Is it like the attorney that's the man, like, I know it's like a lot of different pieces to it, right? Like
sure.
A lot of attorneys just on the same deal. Like, how does that even work? Conversation.
So, right. So, you know, like when the $1 billion, that's an attention grabbing number. That's the value, right, of the overall development, right?
Yeah.
So you might have a developer come in and they're like, we're prepared to spend this much. And then, you know, a government entity like the city or the state or, you know, an economic development, you know, engine, they might come in and say, we're willing to give you this as an incentive, right? So when you look at the total value of like the work, the redevelopment itself, the construction, everything, that's where we're getting $1 billion from. In terms of the firm's fee, I wasn't the person who, so I couldn't tell you even if I wanted to, I wasn't the person who led that effort to say like, here's how much the firm is going to charge for this work. Right. But it's a good question because it depends on the project, right? Yeah. For any situation, sometimes you might have someone that say, look, we're just going to do this hourly. Like, here's our hourly rates. Right. And it's really, really complicated. We have people that specialize in creating budgets for projects, but sometimes it's like, look, this is super complicated. We might just charge hourly. But there's also other, you know, there's alternative fee arrangements, flat fees, blended rates. There's all these different
conversation plans.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can just kind of, and that's just for the firm. Like, that's for the firm services. And then
in terms of that, then to break it down into how it
there's all these metrics and, you know, and it's
some people is
like
equity partners and some people is this and that. So they take commission on this. Yeah.
It's all, there's basically, and again, every firm does it differently, but like at our shop, you have different numbers. So like, there's a number based on like how many hours did I bill, right? My hourly rate times however many hours I billed, that's going to create a number. And then like that's attributed, they call it like a working professional. So like that's just me getting up every day, billing hours. What's that number? And then there's other metrics that fit in terms of like, well, did I bring something new in, right? Is it a new project, a new client, whatever? And so they track those metrics too. But at the end of the day, you're really only counting $1, right? So there's targets that they want us to hit, and then your compensation is based on how you perform at the bar, you know, at the bar, below or above.
So for y'all, what is that metric? Like, where do they want y'all to be at for like billable hour? Like, where is it like, look, man, if you ain't really right here as an attorney in most practices, you slipping. You damn near might, you know.
Yeah.
You know, where does it start to be like, Yeah, I probably need to step my shit up.
Yeah, man, it's all so specific. Like, so if you look at an associate, like, most at a firm of our size, associates are going to be required to do somewhere between 1,850 and 1,850 to 1,900 hours a year is like the billable hour requirement.
Okay.
I think if it was like, to use the 1,850 example, I want to say it's like 154 hours a month, something like that. It's like but that.
So that's a 40-hour working week.
It's something like that, like billing though,
right?
Like billing. So because sometimes like you could be in the office for however long just to get So it's but like that's a pretty reasonable number in terms of like if you're working to the project, you're doing the work. Those hours are just part of it's like a nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? So and then as partners, like again, every firm's different. My first year partner. My hour requirement I think was like 50 hours lower than what the associates were, right? Yeah. But then they kind of, again, at my firm, they sort of like step you down, right? So I'm at a certain level right now, and then next year a slightly lower requirement will kick in for 2 years, and then after that 2 years is up, then I'll be at my sort of final requirement.
But I feel like it's something else that they're giving you then. What is it, more responsibility? Are you traveling more? Are you like...
You got to bring the clients in now.
Right. It's mainly just about that.
The business development aspect. They're expecting us to...
Tell you, bro. I told him I was supposed to be an attorney. I told him, man.
I'm asking this for the viewers.
I was supposed to be an attorney. I was supposed to be an attorney.
I'm really like that.
He really wasn't supposed to be. I was actually...
ass out of here all the time.
I was actually going to be an attorney. But
it should be easy.
Basketball stepped in the way. So, I wasn't ended up being an attorney, but I was supposed to be an attorney.
It's good.
Y'all should see what I be doing to him at the office. Pause.
Stop playing.
It's never too late.
I be eating him alive. Pause. We can do the pause. We can do all of that.
If we did one of them, do they really be doing them practice boys or whatever it is that they be doing on suits? What's it called?
Like a mock trial?
Like a mock trial?
Yeah.
Man, I would put his ass in the dirt.
I would eat his ass.
Hey,
let's do that.
I would put his ass in the dirt.
He gets too emotional.
He's
too emotional.
No, it ain't.
Let the logic go out one ear and out the other.
No, it don't. No, it don't. That's gonna bring.
You don't have real facts.
That's gonna bring it. Be facts plus the emotion, which brings the jury right on in.
Tear his ass up in the goddamn.
I'm telling y'all right now.
I was that guy.
He don't have enough research. See, this is the thing about him. Yeah, he don't do enough research. He gonna miss 20 things within the research.
Not when
and so what he talking about, I'm gonna bring it up. He gonna be like, that. Wait a minute, let me check. That. Damn, that did happen. Let me check. Damn, he right.
Yeah, I'm silly.
Hey, but that's one thing we're gonna have to do.
He's gonna do all that himself.
That's what we're gonna have to do.
Put that shit together.
That's what we're gonna have to do.
I'm gonna have two people doing that shit.
You know I'm a master closer.
Put that shit together.
You know I'm a master closer. At the end, I'm gonna close them out.
It sounds like y'all got some yin and yang going on.
Hey,
I can see why y'all a good team.
I'm a dog with that, man. Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm gonna wipe you down.
We're gonna have to figure out a way to do that.
Hey, Julian, set it up.
Hey.
And guess what? At the end, he gonna be like, "Hell no, I didn't lose." He gonna be trying to tell the jury, "How did that happen?"
I ain't gonna be doing all that.
Man.
We gonna have it at his But hey, man, I got guys that want to come in, man. I know that's not what we usually do, but just let them do what they do.
Right. But
on
the tip of that though, the reason why I was saying that, Paul, on that topic, how did you even start to want to be an attorney? Like, was that something that you? Because I'm on a real level. I actually did want to be an attorney growing up. I really did, a lawyer. What got you kind of thinking that down that road, and what kind of actually pushed you through, and where'd you go? Kind of give us your journey.
That's a good question, man. So if you take a little step back, I actually, I'm from Indianapolis.
Okay.
I've lived all over the city, including I used to live right down the street, Prospect and Keystone. Like,
dang, for real.
There's a Speedway gas station.
For sure.
Before it looked like
a blue
this.
house next to it.
Yeah,
that was where I lived, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it was so that was one of the places that we lived. So the journey for me was basically, we went through a lot as kids. We can kind of summarize it at that. We went through a lot of the effects that come along with being, in a marginalized kind of position economically, right?
Right.
So we, all of that, okay? soup kitchens, food stamps,
all that.
Homeless shelters, like we've been there. Christmas assistance or no Christmas, no lights, like we've been there. And so the interesting thing about it is like, despite sort of all of those obstacles, challenges, setbacks, I was always good in school. It just, especially before I got to college, like it came like sort of easy, and which was almost sort of like a curse though, because when I got to college, I was like, oh, now I actually have to. I got to work.
I had to study, and that probably was a transition.
Took me. That's the same thing for me, bro. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like it was like, even in college though, I'm not gonna lie, like because of the majors and stuff that I took though, for being a basketball player. Hey, I'm probably gonna take more easier classes, stuff like that. Like I was like, man, this like I didn't do homework. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, this is just. But then with a certain amount of those classes, a curse. When I started to get real high in the math classes and all that stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, if I don't study, I'm about to get wiped down. But then I didn't know how to study the correct way. Yeah, because you know what I'm saying. So
it's so that was a challenge, bro, for sure. But like even in between, like going to different elementary schools, high school, whatever, I always just told my parents like, I'm gonna be a lawyer because I'm good at arguing. Like I could always talk, bro. And because and you can't really argue with dad, right?
Was your mom like, was they like getting shitty at you and shit?
Oh, like, bro, no, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't really argue with mom or dad, right? Like that was so I had to figure out how to communicate. I couldn't argue, but I had to figure out how to communicate
where it didn't seem like an argument.
They went on edge. They were like, hold on, wait a minute. You keep nah. I see what you're doing.
But in the household, they like, all right, my words, that's it. But you like, hey.
I know, I understand. I'm not saying that, mama. All I'm saying is
for real. And I was the oldest, bro. I'm the oldest of three. So there was always a way to communicate, but I didn't really know what that meant. Like, I'm gonna be a lawyer. And so if you kind of like fast forward a little bit, so when I was down here at Prospect and Keystone, my dad at the time, bro, he told me about Cathedral High School, right? I had never heard, I didn't know what Cathedral was like.
Right.
I had gone to like 15, 16 different schools by the time I was in 8th grade.
Okay.
Didn't finish 8th grade, bro. They like, somehow they kicked us out and like, I didn't finish my 8th grade year. So I go
Where was you at? Arlington Middle School?
No.
Arlington turned into a middle school?
No. But I'm just saying, like, it's a crazy, I'm not going to say any names, but the school that I was at, they were like, you can't come here anymore. But to me and my younger brothers, it's like,
for what though?
I don't even know. To this day, I don't know.
Are you serious?
No. Dead serious. And like,
so it wasn't like nothing, no fights happening
and all of that, getting A's or what do you think?
I have no idea, man. We would have to bring my parents in here and ask them, and I don't even know. I don't know if they remember or not, but. For what I just
hold on, wait a minute. I'm just sorry, right there.
Yeah. You was in 8th grade.
You were just at the crib sitting home half the year.
So like the second half of the year, bro, because we tried to do. So then when they got us up out of there, like we found a way to find like homeschooling, and then like we couldn't afford the books, bro. So I had like a couple little homeschooling books, and then those ran out, and it was like, I guess I'm done.
You just waited.
Yo, that's wild.
You know what I'm saying? So then I had to go take the entrance exam at Cathedral.
Yeah.
And like, bro, my math was terrible. Like I got just bottom of the charts. But then my English comprehension was good. Was pretty good. And then they had this like cognitive score. And my cognitive score is really good. So they were like, okay, if he comes here, he's definitely gonna have to do math class in the summer. You know what I'm saying? We got to get his math, back up because he's lost time. And but the other thing behind it was like, I didn't even know how Cathedral, so I was there from 2000 to 2004. It was like 8 racks a year.
Yeah, it was expensive.
In 2000. And so, you know what I'm saying? And we were like, I'm telling you, bro, we assistants, we were still in that zone, in that space. And so the long story short is we at this house, bro, on the corner down the street, I'll never forget the day that we got our financial aid package in the mail. And, usually it says like expected family contribution, right? Everybody's got to pay something.
Yeah. Right.
Ours says 0. And it was the first time in the school's history that there was a full ride to go to Cathedral, like tuition, books.
You was the first person.
Me.
And got a full ride to go to
Cathedral. And that changed my life, bro. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to y'all.
Is that facts?
That's facts, bro. My godmother made that opportunity possible. She's an incredible woman. And she created basically a memorial grant in honor of her late father. And I was the first recipient. And changed my life, bro.
What?
And my godmother, she's texts me still. Actually, now it's my wife and I. She texts my wife and I still 5 a.m. every morning. So
what?
Every morning, bro.
Shout her out. Shout her name out. Like
her name is Terry. I won't say her full name, but her name is Terry. And bro, she's like changed my life for real. So
that's super dope.
Damn, that's dope.
Cause like that, she made college prep high school a reality. And then while I was at Cathedral, I got nominated for a scholarship that made college possible. So I was able to go. I went to DePaul University in Greencastle on a part scholarship and part financial aid, and studied history. And so like when it came time, I was looking at what am I going to do after I graduate? Well, I could go, work in education, probably like high school history teaching, which I was super interested in, super passionate about, still am. And I was like, or I could apply to law school and just see what happens. And that's what I did. I applied to a few places, but I got in at the Indiana University Robert H. McKinney School of Law. So basically right downtown here in Indianapolis as an evening student. And so, I was working at a firm during the day, just as like, I was like the assistant to the assistant, right? I just got entry level, got my foot in at the firm, which is where I started working with the environmental people. That's how I even started to understand what environmental law is.
And then sparked your interest in that.
Exactly.
I see that a lot too, because like, this is a question I want to ask you. This is kind of a little bit off track of where we at, though.
It's all good.
Just while I got it in me, it's like, pause. While I got it, hey, I don't even know what to say. You know what I mean?
It's top of mind.
But this the thing, though. He don't follow the rules. Like after you say pause, is already stamped, so you good after that. Like, but if I didn't say it, is when you do that reaction. Anyway, the question I do have though is, like, when it comes to kids going to college from high school and stuff like that in today's world.
Yeah.
What's kind of your take on it? Because, like, this is my take on it. If you're specializing in something, hey, you're gonna be a lawyer. You have a plan. I'm not saying you have to have it all together. So, like, if you're gonna be a lawyer, you might not know what type of lawyer you're gonna be. If you're gonna be a nurse, you might not know what type of nurse that you're gonna be. So my question is, what do you feel about that? Like coming out of school today, how much it costs, etc. No scholarships. Like, should all kids be looking to go to college?
It's a really good question, and I think that I agree. The short answer is it depends, right? I think that we've seen there are so many ways to make money, be successful, do something sustainable that's going to be constructive and like create.
OnlyFans.
Well, see, that I'm not even gonna touch that.
He had to go.
I ain't even gonna touch that one.
My bad. I'm just saying, no. Creative and
No, right. I can't be out here promoting. But
OnlyFans can be a workout channel. It can be all of that. You know what I'm saying?
It could be game. Batman Kevin ran up.
Yeah, because really, OnlyFans did start as that. It didn't start as like
what it is.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I think the.
But I get it.
The association is
crazy.
No, but so I think though it's like. It depends because, and I haven't looked at these studies recently, but like we could probably go out and do some searches in terms of like, well, what's the difference in the average median income between somebody with a, bachelor's degree and somebody without. But there's a lot behind those numbers because it's like, okay, your average median income might be better, right, than someone who might be higher theoretically than someone who didn't go to college. But what debt is associated with that, and how is that average median income servicing the debt that you had to that you probably had to incur?
Which they never talk about that part.
You know what I'm saying? And so I do think that there is a level of like transparency that we need, and I think with anything, like any institution has to evolve, right? So like I think that as we're looking at the global economy is shifting and evolving, why wouldn't our educational systems and institutions do? And I think that there is a level of evolution. I think
I see some stuff starting. To be implemented. Yeah.
But I'd like if you were gonna like hook me up to the lie detector test, I think the realistic answer is no. Not everyone has to go to college. I think that's the realistic. I think it's naive to say yes, everyone has to go to college. Now, I think that there are certain skills, though, that everyone should have, right? Financial literacy, actual literacy, writing, analytical comprehension. Right. And again, everybody's going to fall along a different scale. But I do think that, like, when you look at some of the sort of, like, highest performing in the educational sense, like nations, you know what I'm saying? Like, people that are better at STEM, topics and things like that, you do see societal impacts, positive societal impacts associated with those.
So it's not just about the people that was able to succeed without college. It's almost like a nationwide. What are we looking at as a nation?
Yeah.
And if most people go to college or get some form of education, we're going to be more of a better.
Smarter.
I never looked at it like that.
Yeah, but
that's actually a good point on it.
And you should bring.
But let me flip this.
Yeah. I was gonna say real quick. You should bring some of my brothers on here, man, because they do education, and so they're gonna have way more like articulate, you know what I'm saying,
conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I think we should do?
A debate.
We should do groups of different sectors, right?
Yeah.
Like we have like a debate for attorneys or something, or like just a whatever.
Right.
It could be a debate or just a topic discussion. Then
Yeah, that'll be dope.
Clothes, and we do it for food. Then we do it for just different industries.
That's super dope.
You know what I mean? But we
dope.
got like a different.
I like that. I love the debate.
Definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, you can be involved. I'm gonna sit that one out because you don't like to let people talk really.
You got to if it's a debate.
I mean,
you only get a certain amount of time.
You see what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying? You doing it at the same time as me.
Who's talking?
You see what I'm saying?
If you set up, you got to have the time.
You got to have the time.
Yield the floor and all
that's
that.
Where
Stuff.
he
See, you don't
lose.
respect that.
That's where he gonna lose.
She don't respect.
He can't respect rules. Anyways, look, this is how we gonna do this. When it comes to school, though, but this was the flip side of it. I was saying is okay. Yeah, we might have all that as a nation, but we also got so much debt as a nation.
True.
So it's kind of like a, you know, it kind of balances each other out. But I think from when I was growing up, my mom was like, "You going to college?"
Right.
But they really didn't have an idea of like, okay, when you go to college, you might. But obviously, I got a scholarship. Like I take it back to thinking like, if me and my brothers, all of my brothers, we had scholarships to college to play basketball. But if we had paid for college and studied those exact same majors, I'll be shitty right now.
Yeah.
I'm just being 100% honest
because
I got a lot out of college.
Yeah.
You know, networking wise and like you said, the analytical stuff,
Yep.
Even yours,
the
though,
core senses
is an elevated experience,
right?
From your position. Think about just a regular person that went.
They
ain't even getting half the shit.
The networking
I ain't
part
even
of
talking
it.
about just even the networking part, the traveling,
Yeah.
All of that
but
shit,
even
you know what I'm
kind of
saying?
like what he was saying too, though, is like just being like having a critical think and like stuff like that is a next level to somebody that didn't go there. That is some of the stuff that I got. But if you told me like what did I learn there that I use today,
right?
Like educational,
and stuff for you
right.
to answer.
It's tools.
Very tough.
Yeah, it's just tools, right? It's just tools. That's what I'm saying. Like at DePaul, it was like, you know, I'm not really leaning too heavily on any of the history, you know, stuff that we would have read in the theory,
right.
But like the actual consuming large amounts of information, learning how to try to form my own thoughts and analyses, learn how to
that is
process.
Like that's
100%.
Yeah, that's those are tools
that can help you. Yeah,
and then, but it's true too. Like I agree to answer the question originally. Like, yeah, absolutely have a plan. Like, and I think that's one of the challenges in terms, like, really when we look at like disparity, right? A lot of it just comes down to, it's not all of it, but a lot of it comes down to access to information, right? Like how did people, when I went to school, they took a certain path that they knew that they were on because they're like, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that.
Right.
Where I was like, okay, I'm going to take this class. I'm going to try to learn some Spanish. Like,
right.
You know, and
you kind of found your way.
And then I'm going to apply to law school and just see what, like, which again, there's no complaints here. It's just there is a difference even within the law. Man, we see all different types of candidates that want to apply, and you can see like there is a difference between the folks who have generational lawyers in their family versus the people who are doing this for the first time. There is a disconnect between access to
big time. If that's actually what you want to do, because another thing that I see is people going into shit and like they in it for 5 years and they like, why the hell did I choose this?
Yeah.
Like, why am I trying to be a doctor? But now they hate their life.
But
because they're a doctor, but they hate their life.
You're right though. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'll say this. I'll say this in response, man, because I do think that happens frequently, right? It's like, oh, there's this idea of like what we're supposed to be.
And it ain't matching up.
And you like, this isn't like, so, but there's a couple different books out there, man. One is called, I think it's called The 15 Habits of Conscious Leaders. You know, write that down if you have a reading list. And, you know, there's other books out there like Give and Take, The Power of Moments. But a lot of these, where all these books kind of get at is that question of like, oh, we feel like once we set out on a path, it's set in stone. Like, oh, my whole family is doctors. They wanted me to become a doctor. This is not me, but like I became a surgeon and I hate it. Well, but I don't feel like I can do anything different because look at all this time. And the reality is, man, is like we actually have way more power than we give ourselves credit for. And sometimes, you know, it takes a little bit of that faith to leap and that confidence and to not be, to kind of go into the unknown unafraid.
Fear.
You got to get past that, because the cost of not getting past it is that you'll be miserable,
man.
But you're complacent. You know what I'm saying? The being miserable is coming from a place of complacence and fear instead of kind of you like, okay, I
want to do with my life.
Yeah, you know, but like what. I had an accomplishment, but it's not what I actually want to do.
I think it's the fear of failure.
Yeah.
Because like some people, like especially some cultures, right? They parents just like, if you don't do this, it is a failure to me.
Right.
No matter how did you do over here.
Right.
If you don't do this, it's a failure to me.
Yeah.
Like even, okay, say for instance, a doctor, they were supposed to go and makes $300,000 a year, but they found something that they love doing, and they making $200 a year.
Right.
That's a failure to them. But I'm still living good at $200 a year, and I'm doing what I want, so I'm happy.
Exactly.
This is what I need to be doing versus what you wanted me to do, what you felt like you needed me to do,
which is priceless.
You know what I'm saying?
So like, you can't put a price on
I think I do that with my kids. Like now, like I'm like, look, whatever they end up getting into, I'm just gonna support it. Like it's my job to make sure that if they do fall or if they do this or whatever, to explain to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, it's cool. You just failed at that. That's not failing. That's learning.
Learning. Period.
Like let's go. Do you want to fight for this?
Yeah.
Do you want to keep trying to do this, or should you do this? Like I'm giving them different pointers and stuff like that. I don't think I had that. No bad feelings to my parents or nothing, but I'm saying like I don't think I had that. Like
that process, that way to go about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The way to go about it, bro. Because they hadn't really went through it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that coming into this age, even those cultures that I'm talking about, even them, the people that's our age, they gonna have a different outlook on stuff, because it's like, no, you don't just have to do that. Oh no, it gets deep, bro. Like you don't just have to date white. Or you're not just looking for an NFL player or a basketball player.
Exactly.
Or a rapper.
Exactly.
Like people's parents was really telling them that. I got people in my family that their parents was telling them, you need to go and date. I'm saying women, you need to go and find you an NFL player. You need to go and find you a basketball player. Like that shit crazy, bro.
Yeah. For real.
Sound like that, for real. Girl, look, he got go on that date.
Exactly.
You thinking about it? You shouldn't be thinking about nothing.
And now again, they married 5 years and she done went through hell.
Men are gonna be men, but go on that date.
Yeah, it's exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it's tough.
You know, just
it's
whatever,
tough. It's tough. But
yeah, I forgot I had something, man. T done definitely went on the Dr. Phil journey.
My bad, man. He got me in my bag, man.
I was fucking with it. You definitely went Dr. Phil for a second. Shit, you made me forget my whole thought, dog. I'm hey shit.
Well, question it is: Are you? Is environment? Does that fulfill you, and do you feel like this is your lane? Like, because I know you said you kind of like still kind of got that love for the history part of stuff and stuff like that. Like, is this your main thing? Is this where you trying to be the rest of your life?
So, I'm gonna answer that kind of two different ways, because you know when we very first started talking, you were like, well, what do you do? What's your background? Who are you? And I said there's two buckets, and the first bucket is the law, right? That's what pays the bills, and there is a significant amount of I see purpose and passion in what I do, right?
In law?
Yes, in the law, particularly when we're talking about, you know, whether it's redevelopment work because you get to see that tangible result, or whether it's sustainability work because you're trying to take something that exists as it is, that is suboptimal, and make it something that can be circular.
That's so cold to me.
That is hard.
I feel like your position is so cold,
That
bro.
is hard.
I ain't gonna
looking
lie.
at a building and saying, hey, I'm going to make this more energy efficient, more sustainable, put in more just
and being
pushing
able
it
to
forward.
come up
That's a
with
little
that.
bit of Elon type
Yeah,
shit.
you coming up with that
Baby
plan.
Elon, low key. Hold up.
Like for you to be able to come up with that plan, then you like, damn, I'm just watching it in motion.
Yeah.
Hey, Joel,
Yeah.
just let me know if you start a little side company on the side. I'm probably investing.
Hey,
I'm interested.
Let's go. I do have ideas, but we can't talk about that here. but no. So I mean, that's the first bucket though, and like there is for me personally, but I think when you read, people talk about like what are you passionate about, which is important, but passion can be fleeting, right? Like you can be motivated today and not motivated tomorrow, and that's kind of like passion, but. For me, I find a more like drive in the purpose, right? Because again, like when I'm looking at the purpose of the legal work, it's like I'm a little like person, and compared to the 7.5 billion or 8 billion, how many like there's so many people on the planet that these issues are affecting. So I see a lot of purpose in that. So the short answer is like yes. If I ended up doing this for the rest of my life, whether and the law firm is for me. Like I have to say, like the law firm is built for me,
Right?
With the level of like.
Just everything about it.
Everything, bro. There is a certain level of grind and like and hustle, which I like, but there's also a opportunity to become more of like a expert or a subject matter expert on what it is. So like I like that deep learning, but there's also a fair amount of flexibility and opportunity and things like that. So I there are always potential opportunities to do other things in the legal context, but so far I have not found anything for me that's like better than the law firm, and that's just me. That's my subjective opinion. The other thing is though, like that's the first bucket. The second bucket is the music, bro. Like that's
what I'm gonna happen to literally next, bro.
Yeah, and so that's like that is a passion, but there's also something I see purpose in. And sometimes I even get to blend the two. Sometimes I get to take the music and blend it with the law.
How? You mean in your like
yeah, like
that's hard.
sometimes I put it in the like if there's a particular song or something I'm working on, but even like at the firm, man, there have been opportunities internally at the firm to bring my talent to people that I work with at the firm. Like United Way campaign.
What exactly do you do though with the music? Because I actually don't know that.
Bars.
Like you got bars? Are you singing? Like what?
He got bars.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I write, bro. I just write and record. No, I write and record. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like hip hop?
Like he was at City Dump.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were just
recording
what they doing in City Dump?
We working on it. We working on the EP.
EP.
Yes,
what?
yes,
That's
sir.
What's up, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get in. Tap in with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
shout out to Geechee, man. He's
Hey,
talented.
that's my second
talented.
name, Geechee, man. So shout out Geechee, man. That's my dog, then.
Talented brother, man, for sure.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and you've been have you always done that though, or that talent or interest came later, or you was even like kid in school, like fucking rapping and
no,
shit?
That was me, the kid in school.
You was
I was beating on the
table
and
I
was beating
freestyling.
I swear to God.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
that grinding beat.
Exactly, bro. That was the one.
For
That was
real.
the one.
Class.
Of course. And then
It
it wasn't really until it wasn't until law school that I really was like, oh, like I met a good friend of mine who actually found out he's an older brother of one of my fraternity brothers, and so we just hit it off. And he was like, man, you should explore this more.
Oh,
so
for real?
That's when I really was like in law school. I'd be like in class, like
Right.
So
That's what's up.
And then it just evolved in terms of like, okay, now I have a vision for
Right.
project singles, things.
So
like
what's
that.
how do you want to take that? Do you just want to do it as like it's a passion, it's fun, it's art, and put it out there? Or do you want to actually have somewhat of a career with it? Like where do you see the music going? You know what I mean?
I think in the short answer is leverage. I see the music as leverage. Like, there's a lot of purpose and passion, like messaging and influence, inspiration, all of that comes along with it. And so to me, that's a win. It's like I get to do something I love to do. The music is gonna get put out. I hope that people hear it, and there's a certain way that you got to go about trying to get it out there. And so that's part of the equation right now. But for me, just like getting it out and making sure that people hear it and can experience a level of art and like see it a bit like sort of my worldview, but also like challenge theirs or like encourage them, all of those things, that's a win. And I think there's a way to leverage it.
That's a dope ass, like fresh, different
Absolutely.
aspect. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Like that's a turn, man. That's damn near hard. You can say some shit, and motherfucker won't even know what you talking about for real. But you really talking that shit.
But you talking that shit.
Yeah.
And it's people that will understand it. They like, ooh, y'all don't know what he just said, though, because this is what he really talking about.
The streets, he really show you how you get out
I be having to do that with my wife. She be listening to some ESTG. She be like, "What did he mean by that?" I'm like, "Well,
here we go. Let me go ahead and kind of break it down."
Yeah, exactly. So a bird is a. So when he let him fly, he's.
Hey,
for real though.
You know what I'm saying?
Avian creatures is what. I'm messing with y'all.
But nah, man, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, man. So this time in the show, though, man, you know we have to get into what we call
overtime. Yeah.
Sorry, I hit the wrong one.
I got my brother back though today.
Yeah,
I got your back, bro. I ain't even saying that crazy.
Okay, that's
my dog.
He turned over a new leaf. So look,
that's what he said when I said I got his back. You just in public.
I'm just saying, man. When we on the,
bro, you said that when we leave, though.
I'm
dog.
just saying, man. I told you I was trying. I came.
I thought you was turning.
I was about to say I came out to you. I was about to say pause. But I came to you a while ago and said, man, I used to really want to be an attorney. Everybody think that's funny when I say that, but I really did used to want to be a lawyer, though. I really did, and I really still got those qualities.
It's never too late, bro.
It's a fact. But anyways, man, the topic that we have on hand today.
Damn.
Man.
So you go ahead and bring us in.
My dude, I listen to Breakfast Club every morning too, by the way, just so y'all know. On iHeart. I do. But DJ Envy and what's his name? Flippin' NJ.
Yeah.
Which I feel like it's a lot to uncover and unpack with this because I don't know really
all the
the
facts.
affiliation, the facts or nothing like that. But from what's being said, they've been indicted. Not even indicted. They've been there's multiple lawsuits out there on them, basically saying that they've stole a certain amount of money. You know, from people that they haven't got back their investments. Now I don't know how long those investments been in place, etc. But like right now, that's kind of where it's at. Like multiple.
Yeah, like I think it was like
10 plus.
Yeah, it's definitely in the millions.
Oh yeah, millions of dollars
for the lawsuit.
Yeah, millions of dollars. Shit, I know one person is $500,000 by themselves, so it's millions of dollars, 100%. What's kind of y'all take on that? And I know coming from a lawyer stance, like, what do you feel about that?
So first of all, I should have said this in the beginning. I have to say that everything that I shared with y'all today on the show are my views, not those of the firm, and cannot be considered legal advice. And that goes for this.
That's
question
a disclaimer
too.
For sure.
Any good lawyer has to give you a disclaimer.
You heard it.
Yeah, you
heard it.
I think that with y'all put me onto this development, man. So I haven't had a chance to dive deep into the facts. But if you just want the high level, basically, these are allegations at this point, innocent until proven guilty. Right? They're allegations. I think, and also it's like, typically in these types of things, they settle. It doesn't. Now, I don't know if these claims have been brought. I don't know if it's like if you got the Department of Justice involved. I don't know where we're at, but a lot of times, even if it is the government, a lot of times things don't go to trial. Man, it's like 98% of cases settle, and so I hope that for I don't know the other guy, but particularly for DJ Envy's sake, man, I hope he's got some good lawyers and that they can work.
My take on it is that
like he do. I can't see DJ Envy not from maybe just like the stuff that he put out, how he is, like his brand, his personal brand.
Yeah,
I just feel like he gonna have his shit.
From my side of it,
tight. And
it's a couple of things that I feel about it. One thing that I 100% feel about it is that
I think he just promoted.
That he just really promoted him, and that those dealings that he got that's going wrong he's affiliated by association. Like
he was in the car.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Not even though.
Right.
It's like
he
let him borrow his car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
and so like,
still a step away from that.
Yeah, it's even a step away from that. Like he did some business. He has because from the allegations, he owes even DJ Envy money. You get what I'm saying? And he has put a lawsuit in for the money.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. But because it was so public, and the only reason why people know who Flippin' NJ is, like on that broad stream, on that stream of people, is that he brought them onto the Breakfast Club and that they did events together. So it's just like kind of like, okay, we going to say something with Brent Daniels here. Like a lot of people here know who Brent Daniels is, but if we attach our name to it here, more people that we know would be interested in going into business with him because of what we brought him.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So like, I think it was more of that on DJ Envy's side, and actually on a lot of stuff, even he putting in lawsuits on defamation of character. DJ Envy is of people that's out there saying, "Hey, this is what he did." Like Tony the Closer, I want to say he sued him.
Dang, did DJ Envy sue Tony the Closer?
Yeah, I think he sued him on defamation of character because of him putting it out there. Like, you know how he doing. He digging into it.
He going next level.
Tony the Closer. But I do mess with Tony the Closer doing though too, because I do feel like
if you out there with it and I feel like he popped it off for real.
Yeah, to make
it spread like this.
And I feel like if people are actually fucking over their own people, like, bro, they need to be put out there, or you can say something about it. Now, on the flip side of it is, I feel like he spent a little bit too much time on it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, absolutely. It's like, all right, if somebody fucking over somebody I know, hey, I'm gonna be like, hey, man, look, yeah, this wasn't going on. Hey, shit, I didn't know this was going on, and I was messing with whatever. Hey, man, don't spend your money over here because that's what they doing over here with it. Like, I'm not gonna tell you to go over there when I know for a fact that this is what they doing with it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit and spend that much time
videos on it.
I'm not gonna do that.
Just keep doing.
But that might be his. I feel like that
is his brand.
That's his lane right now. That he just like, look, I'm gonna dig into that shit, and I'm really gonna put these motherfuckers out there because I think for him, it's like I'm gonna do it because like this is an early thing for the black community. Like a lot of this stuff is early for the black community. Like black people investing with black people. So don't go and fuck it up as soon as we get it started. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like that's why I think that he's really being so like why he's on it like that is because he like shit. Y'all gonna go and fuck something up before we ever get it started. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all want to black this, black that, invest with your black brothers and all this, but then you go and fuck over the money with your black brother. So the next time that person goes and invests, he's scarred off working with another black person.
It's unfortunate.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of where it like it hit his heart.
That part of the Tony Closer I fuck with. I don't fuck with the Tony Closer like just the antics and the next level of some of the shit. Me personally, like he cool. Like he'll probably see this clip and then go do research on me and then find me when I'm fucking 5 years old with some glasses and some shit and be like, this is the nigga that be you know what I'm saying? Just go crazy on me. But it's like, bro, that's my opinion though. Like I rock with that mission if that's your mission. You know, everybody different. I just felt like he could do it in a different way. Like you ain't got to be in an argument with or looking to argue with everybody.
Yeah.
Feel me? I feel like it's just like
put it out there, let it go, and then
all of that ain't necessary. Like I'm trying to understand. Like, is he still doing? Obviously, he's still doing business, but like that's how we kind of knew, and then that just went away. Like it's just about this only.
Right. Yeah, and that is what it is. But when it come back to DJ Envy and them, I just think even on flipping NJ part is. I feel like people get into situations that they can't handle. Like they don't say no to money. Like we have said we had to say no to a certain amount of things. Like, hey, we're not going to take more money to do flips or to do this or do that right now because if we brought on that money to pay these people back, we had to. Well, also you what they'll do is they'll get themselves in the bad projects just to spend the money to try to make money so that they can make more money. Does that make sense? So like we
starting to be too hungry and take on opportunities we wouldn't even. Now our numbers are slipping. Now we ain't got enough for our construction.
Like okay, well I guess I don't got to make nothing off of this then. But now it's negative.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like, I can mess with a little 15% margin on it because I don't got to make nothing off of this because I'm making money off of all this over here. But now when that deal slips a little bit,
now you in a
negative with him. Now you robbing Peter to play Paul. And then next thing you know, you just fucking doing a whirlwind. You know what I'm saying? So I can see how people can get there.
Yeah, I can see it. So I don't think. Because people think like, oh, Alligators, dang, he stole my money. Like, he just taking it and he going to the club and just throwing it up in the air and shit. Right. No, he might be trying to make the deals work. He just don't maybe have the people or the systems set up properly to run it to.
He didn't have a responsibility. That's what it is.
You know what I mean? Your stuff back on time.
You wasn't responsible enough to take them people's money. Is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because if you was more responsible, you would have already had, all right, you know when to say no. And you know when to stop. Like,
but I feel like, yeah, you definitely, if DJ Envy stamp you and y'all doing events and stuff together, you need to have that.
You need to have
place.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like you're becoming a professional.
Yeah, like if you fucking up, you need to fuck up before you go to the league. Like, man, I need to still learn the plays. I need to learn that while I'm in college right now. Because if I want to go to the next level and really hang out and be cool and
I'm gonna be held to a different type of level for the money that I'm getting. Hold on,
bro. Just give me another year. Give me 6 months. Let me get my shit tight. Whatever before we go and really do that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, due diligence, man. Due
fucking diligence. Talk about that.
Period, bro. I mean, like, it applies to so many different things. So, number one, it's a relationship business, man.
Right.
Like, you have to choose your partners carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever your partners, your investors, your opportunities, right?
Relationship.
Yeah, you really, to the best of your ability, need to understand who it is that you're dealing with, and then you need to understand what it is that you're dealing with, right? And so, for any deal, for any project, whatever it is like, the more information that you can have on either side. Are you a seller? Are you a buyer? Are you a developer? It doesn't matter what it is, right? Like, whatever the project is, the more information that you can glean, that you can gather and analyze, is going to give you, and sometimes, man, you just can't, of course there are people out there where you just can't avoid a bad deal. It just,
exactly.
Whatever. But the more time that you spend trying to learn about who and what you're dealing with, the better. And then and having a team, right? So that's why you need sort of like your finance and investment people, right? To do the numbers on this deal even make sense?
Right.
You need your lawyers and your, whoever, your consultants to be like, okay,
yeah,
what are all the strings and the red tape that come along with it?
Yeah.
There's so many implications. And so but again, it also kind of gets into those are ideal situations. And sometimes not everything's ideal.
Right.
And so that's the other thing is man, no risk, no reward. And so it's all a fine line of even if you step in something, that goes sideways, it's well, that's a learning opportunity. It might be a really hard learning opportunity, but it's still
a pricey one.
It's tough, but you can still take that and
I just learned a new word today too. He said glean. Glean. Can you tell the folks what that means?
Just it's like if you glean information, it's just like gathering sort of over time. What can I look at this? I may not get the whole answer from what I'm looking at, but I might get a portion of it. I'm gleaning information.
Right. That's what I've been doing. That's how I know I'm gonna beat him in that debate. But we gonna get
down.
Hey, we gonna get him out of here, though, man. Hey, look, we appreciate you, my black brother.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
You're an inspiration for real to the community. And just continue to do what you're doing, man. And obviously, our goal is to be working with somebody like you very soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like to actually have you working with us. I'm actually going through a development class right now,
That's
just
dope.
to add to the to the success that we've been trying to accomplish as well. While he's sitting on his fat ass, but I've been going through this development. No, I'm messing around. He actually been calling lawyers, and actually, I know he came to you and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give him his props. Now he actually been calling, actually going after different lawyers and stuff that can help us in the business and stuff like that too. Definitely. So, man, we trying to go to that level, man, and dealing with people like you. So that's actually one of our goals coming up here soon.
I love it.
But we appreciate you, bro, for coming on.
Thank you, bro.
Where can the people find you at? If they need to reach out or if they're interested in working with you guys.
Absolutely. So, on the professional side, you can find me on LinkedIn, Julian and Harrell. The last name is Harrell.
Okay.
So that's me on LinkedIn. That'll also be under my firm bio, the same name. And then on the music side, if you want to see what we're working on, at Bespoke 317, it's BESPOKE 317. That's my SoundCloud and Instagram.
That's what's up.
Yes,
sir. I'm gonna be on that boy today.
Sure, man. We gonna put some stuff together, man. Y'all see us put something together. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be something, man. So
absolutely.
That's what it is. Well, you got any last words, Steve?
No last words from me,
no last
man.
words,
That was
man.
pretty dope.
You gotta let the king bring it out.
No, I gotta go glean real quick. I
go ahead, do your thing, partner. I don't need all that, man. I got associates to handle that work.
Oh,
but man, y'all know, man, how we what, man. Episode 34 is in the book. I got
you know who it is.
Yeah. And we out straight like that.